Hi, it's good to be back. So sorry, this video has taken a long time to make, but I'm here. Let's get it going. What do you say? Okay, so I have had a lot of bad comments on my last video. But let's not go into that. But today's video is about actually about how good this bike has been in the last year and so. I know I've had some bad experiences and I talked about all of them in my last video. Some of you understood what I was going through. A lot of you did not. However, that's not the issue. The issue is there was a lot of hatred just because of the way I look. But that's all right. People can be, you know, people. So how good it's been absolutely incredible. I think it looks amazing, it rides great, and what more do you want from a little bike like this? Yes, I've had a lot of modifications that I made, and I talked about it in my previous videos. So yeah, the link is in the description, please do check them out. But yeah, the main reason for this video is that this has been quite a pleasant experience to work on. I know I crashed in my previous video, so we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But yeah, you know what? Let's talk about it. So first things first, I crashed and I broke the indicator and scratched a little bit of my mirror. There's a little scratch here which I'll show you now, but yeah, all of this together, it took me maybe half an hour to reinstall. Literally, it's so easy to work on. Everything is accessible. I do all my servicing and the upkeep of the bike myself, only because I can't trust my dealer, well, my local dealer, which I actually spoke about. But that's not the issue. Literally, you can work on anything that you want. There's a couple of screws, you've got access to it, and it's very, very easy to work on. It's not overly complicated. So even to replace the gear levers, it was literally one screw, off it comes. They put these on, it's very easy. The slip-ons, it was easy. The whole exhaust system, literally 2 screws, comes off, put it back on. But yeah, I've done the air filter as well, which was 1 screw, and then 3 screws on this side, take the panel off, put it back on, and it's done. It's that simple. Even the brake pads, it was so easy to install. So credit where due. I'll definitely give it a 10 out of 10 in terms of you know, how easy it is to work on it yourself with basic tools. I also, actually, I forgot to mention that I broke the gear, no, sorry, not the gear, the brake lever. That was bent all the way back, so I had to order a new one. Give me a second. There's a Muppet on a quad. And here he comes. There they go. Right. I picked a very sort of busy place. We're on top of Cwmbran Mountain at the moment. But yeah, it's all right. You've seen the drone video at the start of the channel anyway. But yeah, it's been so easy to work on. Even the wheels, I've taken both of them off, the front and the back. Even without the side stand, I know I've got a bit of a jack that I can keep the bike upright. That really helps. But yeah, it's been so easy to work on. Taking off the rear light was so easy. The screws is self-explanatory. Once you go onto it, it's So easy. Couple of screws and it comes off. Again, credit where due. It is extremely easy to work on. Another thing I love about this is that you know, when you're riding and when you're accelerating, it's nice. It's the torque you've got throughout the rev ranges, you know, and you're going all the way up to 6,000 and 7,000 RPM, which is quite good for a little bike. And it gives that constant power throughout, and it's nice to be able to pull away on any gear that you're on. Yeah, so I think that's a nice part about it. Another thing, it's a definite head turner. So you know, if you're in town or city or whatever, this bike 110% turns heads. A, because it's extremely loud, but B, because how amazing this looks. Yes, I've done a bit of mods to it, so it does kind of look one of a kind, but I 100% think it definitely turns heads. Definitely. You know, I get compliments left, right and center when I go to bike meets and stuff like that. They always ask me what I've done to it, and there's a video about it, so please do check it out. But yeah, it's nice and easy to work on. I've got spare tanks as well, so it was surprisingly easy how you can just take 2 screws off, a couple of things underneath the tank, well actually 2 screws, unclip all the things like the fuel pump and stuff like that. The tank just comes off, and you can replace the tank very easily the exact same way. It's extremely easy. I do the tappets myself as well. To get access to it, again, you just take the tank off. You can unscrew the 4 bolts on either side. You can get access to it, and you just crank it from the other side and make sure the gaps are properly done. Oil change, again, is just in here and 1 screw at the bottom. You can do it extremely easy to do that. The filter, again, I've got a DNA air filter, so I've just got a little kit and you just clean it with it, with an air compressor as well, so just being careful with it. Another thing I want to talk about is spraying cleaning the bike. I use the jet wash, okay, and I was being a little bit careful. I know about the electronics and I know where the water can go to. I do use an air compressor to make sure that it is all dry before I do use it. I have had an issue here where I've cleaned it without the jet, and it was just literally just normal pipe, hose pipe to clean it, and water somehow gets in here and it just misfires. Now people say, oh yeah, it could be a number of different things and stuff like that. Well, I know it's that because as soon as it's dry or I use an air compressor to get the water out, it's gone. So yeah, that's one thing. I'm not sure, on my last video you probably saw my speedometer was broken, but I managed to change that over. So I used the cable, put it in, wired it into the headlight. Works absolutely fine. So I basically snipped the original cable, connected up the new cable, and it works. That's simple as that. I've done a bit of a bad job with it, but it's all right actually. You know, it's not too bad. Another thing, I think I've got a puncture, so it's all right at the moment. But yeah, that's it. Oh, there's a car coming. They're stopping over there, that's all right. But yeah, apart from that, it's been incredible. So let's talk about some of the comments we've had. One that's got a lot of likes, it was from Oscar Motard Abenenture or whatever. He said that happens when someone has an attitude with blah 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 blah. Basically, he was taking a piss out of me because I was cleaning the bike with a jet wash. Well, okay, each to their own. I replied to it. And yeah, there's been other people saying buying aftermarket part isn't really difficult, blah 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 blah. Yeah, let's not worry about that one. There were a few. Let me go back in. There's been a lot of people who've said, you know, unfortunately, it is a cheap bike. It does, you know, they were kind of agreeing with what I was saying, but a lot of other people, they were not. They were saying, you know, it sucks and blah 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 blah. Whatever, dude. You know, some people are just saying, well, I'm not going to name and shame them. They're all in the comments, so yeah, please do look through my previous video, because yeah, I've kind of touched a few nerve points of, you know, Royal Enfield enthusiasts. Well, let's not go into that. You know, a lot of other people, they've done almost the exact same modifications that I've made, and you know, they've been very successful with it, and so have I. And after it, the bike really does feel amazing. So, and I did kind of point that out in my last video, that, you know, after doing the modifications, the bike feels great. So it's not, you know, there's no issues with that, if I'm honest. You know, some people have been very lucky that they haven't had any issues like I have, but my issues were mainly with the dealer, not the bike itself. The bike, you know, would have been great if the wheel was sorted out. The bike would have been great, and you know, all the other modifications I've done, it would have been absolutely fine, because my buckled wheel was not being sorted out, basically. So it is that. Another person said something like best bike for the value. Well, yeah, no shit, bike is great for the money. Someone's just called me a fatso on there, so get fucked is what I say to that. You know who you are. You're probably watching this video, so yeah, get fucked. Let's look at more comments. Someone said, you know, BMW R9, they've had an issue with it as well, so having faults on motorcycle isn't unheard of. I agree. You know, having faults on the motorcycle is like, whatever, yeah, there are faults, but the only things that I was picking up was that if there are faults, you know, companies should kind of help you with it. Dealers should help you with it, but they didn't do anything about this. I mean, they were trying, and the bike was with them for months, and they, you know, they didn't do anything. In the end, I did it myself. So yeah, that's that. I just don't agree with you there. Someone said, well, it sounds like a Friday afternoon machine. Sorry to say. Well, maybe it is, and maybe it's not. Apart from the faults that I've pointed out, the bike is pretty okay. Engine wise is amazing. It sounds great. It rides great now after all the mods. I think my front suspension's a bit soft. If I can, if something I can do would be to adjust my front suspension, I will do. There are other people who have done something similar, and they've upgraded to YSS fork or whatever, front and back. Maybe it's something that I can do in the future. Maybe not. Let's see. But a lot of other people have done a similar mods to me. Someone else says, you know, 47 brake horsepower gets you to 100 miles an hour. Isn't that enough? Well, yeah, it is enough. But my friends have got sports bikes, you know, 600, 700s and up, and I can't keep up with them. That's the only thing. But you know, I understand this bike is not keeping up with, you know, with other bikes, but I simply got it for the looks and the feel of the bike, and I can go around and make it my daily commuter bike as well. So, one second, there's a car. Let's go there. Idiot. Fucking hell, it took him ages. Yeah, in terms of, honestly, in terms of the wheel stuff, someone has said that I've used a strong solvent to clean the rims. Excuse me. No, actually, I haven't. The only thing I've used on them is the Muck Off wheel cleaner thing. Actually, Muck Off, just a regular Muck Off to clean it. And in fact, the time I used the jet wash, that was the only time I used it to clean the rims. Most of the time I've used it to kind of get in here, get all the dirt off here and here, the suspension, and up at the front, just to make life a little bit easier. Yeah, it's not it's not a valid comment, but you know, I'll take it. It is what it is. But again, there's been a lot of people who have said, you know, using a pressure washer is bad for the bike. I get it, totally agree with you. It probably is, but I try and use it as you know, as nicely as possible, so I don't upset anything that's meant to be, you know, meant not to be upset, basically, on the bike. So yeah, that's that. I don't know what else to do, if I'm honest. Let me know in the comments below what your experiences are like with the bike. I'd love to hear it. So far, I think I'm the only one with the rear setup, so let me know if you want a video of how I actually created the rear lights. I am gonna do some more modifications like the Airbox Delete kit. I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm going to soon, so watch out for that. At some point I will shorten my frame so everything kind of looks in nice and neat. I'm not sure about the one-seater concept, but I'll look into it, see what works best. But apart from that, I think the bike is nearly finished with everything that I want to do so far. Maybe do just a few other things, maybe change the tank. I've got a different tank, so you might see a different color tank. But yeah, let me know what you think of this so far, and let me know if there's any issues in terms of my previous video. Thanks for watching.